Alright, what's up guys, single player Nacho here. And atrás de ti, imbécil. Los Ganados are making quite a comeback in Resident Evil 4's remake. Comparing them to the Ganados in the original, there are violent, neck-twisting changes set to take place to these iconic Spanish villagers. There is something more gruesome within their biology taking place. Their eyes bleed, they're slobbering and seem much more unkempt. Like they haven't bathed since 2004. I mean, all they had was one toilet in the original throughout the entire game. Well, they aren't just crazy animals or zombies. These people have been completely brainwashed mentally into following the cult known as Los Iluminados, and physically by having a whole ass parasite inside of their brains. But the most important thing about the original Ganados that must be kept within the remake Ganados is a sad detail that not many casual fans know about. And that is the Ganados' incredibly tragic backstory. Speaking of the original RE4, there are 5 to 6 unique villager models. So they're easily recognizable. They all have unique quotes that have been seared into our brains. You know, really nice and complimentary stuff like, "Te voy a hacer picadillo." That's Don Manuel. That's Don Diego. Hands down, my favorite is the guy who steals Leon's jacket. What an absolute legend. Easy to identify, easy to remember. That's what made all of the villagers in the original so good. They'd say the darnest, spookiest shit. And you'd say, oh yeah, I just suplexed that guy until his head popped off. Here he is again. The remake has to make sure not to lose this formula, but judging from the 15 minutes of gameplay we've gotten, there are loads more villagers that loosely resemble our well-known Ganado veterans. There's even some hybrid villagers slash cultist baldies that we've never even seen before. Don Jose, the very first villager encountered in RE4, is still blankly staring at his fireplace. Maria, the first female villager found in the original, is shown here being completely obliterated by a shotgun. I mean, out of context, you'd wonder what kind of game is being played here. And then there's this woman who looks a lot like a bug woman with a hive up her snatch. A certain person just can't come to mind right now. Jokes aside, this is most likely Isabel, the second female villager we come across in the original who has a knack for chillin' in cabins. The remake is showing off a wide variety of newer villagers, which is a very much welcome addition, but by stretching the recognition too thin, this could be a problem. Resident Evil 2 Remake's zombies are a perfect example of diversifying common enemies just the right amount, so it may not be too much of a problem. The new Ganados seem a bit more slumbering and stalker-like. We're not getting the fast-paced action of the village encounter. No longer will enemies automatically spot you in close range, nor will they stay frozen in one location. Now, yes, I'm gonna miss that because we can no longer zoom into Los Ganados' faces and try to, figure out what they're thinking about. Taxes, cow dung. The villagers punch and kick you around, stunning you for a bit to keep combat more interesting. You can even see how this dynamic will make hordes difficult, as you can no longer just stun and spinny kick your way out of danger. You'll need a new set of tricks to stay alive. The gameplay footage also shows off a unique and dangerous situation, where one Ganado holds you hostage and waits for the chainsaw man to pop around the corner to slice and dice you. That's pretty smart AI. In the original, this sort of situation did happen, but not on purpose. If you were stunned or choky grabbed, and there was a chainsaw present, you'd best be saying your goodbyes to, well, your head. Not that anyone was looking forward to this, but knifing a villager seems to be much more prevalent. Stabbing your enemies in the neck to further evade a grab is definitely a new feature. The combat has been upgraded, but what about what's underneath all of that picadillo? The closing credits of, well, any game is probably the most skipped content. And if you take a look at the first few screens in RE4's original credits, you might think, some nice little harmless concept art with eerie music. But if you stay a bit longer, you'll see what actually happened to the poor Ganados. As Sadler rolled into the village with the plaga, the villagers were forcefully implanted, adults and their children. Only the kids couldn't handle the harmful contents of an ancient parasite. No kidding. All of the village children died without a single trace of them in the game. Now I do wonder if that's what leads to the overall aggressiveness of Los Ganados, or if it's caused by the Plaga 100%. When Leon was implanted with La Plaga, he was able to control it for only so long, until he started choking his soulmate, Ada Wong. Still, the Ganado backstory is very, very well hidden in the final scene of the credits. I hope that there are a lot more lore tidbits in the upcoming remake, some notes, and some diaries that spills the beans on this hidden lore. What really happened during Salazar's invasion? How did the Big Cheese, pre-Plaga, treat his villagers? Questions I can only hope are answered when this game finally arrives. Well, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you guys think of the new Los Ganados design? Are you looking forward to that Chainsaw Man fight? I know I'm not. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror lore, lists, and mysteries. Have an awesome rest of your day, and Happy New Year's, everyone. And as always, stay single.